The poor teleprompter guy is sitting there. What do we do? We're on line 2 of the teleprompter. He said, what do we do? No, unlike Joe, I have not looked at the teleprompter. Oh, that poor Joe. You know what's the worst part about him looking at the teleprompter? The worst part is that means that the fake news media is giving him the questions. Right? Like Donna Brazile, who was brilliantly hired by Fox. Fox has changed a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, Donna Brazile, who was fired by CNN because she cheated and she gave crooked Hillary the questions to the debate. How would you like to be me? They give her questions to the debate. And I still won the debate and she had all the questions. Look at it. How do you do that? Donna Brazile is, ladies and gentlemen, she's going to work for Fox. Oh, that's great. That's a big difference. Big difference between 4 years ago and now. A lot of things have changed. But I'll tell you what's changed is the fact that we have more enthusiasm now than we did 4 years ago. It's amazing, right? But just to get back to the other, so I signed that wonderful executive order instituting this really tough law. And it says 10 years. It doesn't say, you know, you get 10 years, but you can take it down to 3 weeks. It says 10 years. So these guys had just gotten there. I had a news conference because I had to let them know about it, right? We've got many people in jail right now that from before, nobody even talked about taking statues down. No, but I looked at the Andrew Jackson, right, with the ropes. And I'll tell you, the police did a great job. And Mark Meadows did a great job. He said charge. They charged, and they took these guys out. And they were fairly tough, but the police were much tougher. D.C. police, they did a great job. They were watching, and they weren't able to do anything. Mark Meadows said charge. It was like from 200 years ago. It was crazy. They charged, and they beat the hell out of these guys. Or you wouldn't have that great statue on the horse of a great general. He was a great general, and he was a very good president, at least a good president. But he was a great general. The Battle of New Orleans, right? And they had this incredible picture, Andrew Jackson, and they were going to rip it down. Remember the ropes wrapped around the horse, right? And the guy standing up there, just he went to jail 2 days later. We had all the evidence we needed. Thank you for that. I want to thank you, fake news. Look. We called the fake news. We said, can we just have that, please? When they said no, we just said, we'll take it off TiVo. That's okay, don't worry about it. One of the greatest inventions in history, TiVo, better than television, because television is useless without it. So we signed it. And all of a sudden, these same guys that were watching, and they left, nobody showed up the next day. They were going to have 25,000 people. They had 24 people. 5 of them were brought to prison, okay? And the next day they said, well, we're going to save it for Saturday night. And Saturday night, nobody showed up. And nobody has showed up in 4 months to take down a statue because they're scared. Because you know why? They look and they say, I want to take down that statue. I'm going to take down that statue. That statue's coming down. And then somebody says, you know, it's 10 years in jail. They go, that's too much. I'm getting out of here. So 10 years is not acceptable, Mike, right? 10 years is a lot to rip down a statue. Have a little fun, especially when they have no idea what they're ripping down. But we have an idea what they're ripping down. They're ripping down, in many cases, greatness. They're ripping down our past. They're ripping down our history. And that's where these guys begin. They take away your history. You look at the Middle East, you look all over. Look what ISIS did. Look what all of them do. They go down and they rip. They go into museums and they break everything and they rip everything. They want to take away your past. They're not taking away the past of the United States of America.
Or the UK.
Not as long as I'm here. Do you want me to go back on teleprompter, anybody? No. Okay, here's a question. My poor guy must be having a fit. He's over there. He's so good at this stuff. He's on line 3. He's saying, sir, should I just turn the sucker off? Would you rather go teleprompter or freelance? Freelance.